I'm Vivian Yor. I'm Sierra Baker.
I'm Olivia Clark.
I'm Logan Baker.
Welcome to Spiked Up.
Welcome to Spiked Up.
Welcome to Spiked Up.
Hey there, Colorado track and field fans. Welcome to this week's edition of Spiked Up. As always, I'm Bobby Reyes, and I'm going to be your host. Now, before we get this week's episode going, huge shout out to our title sponsor, the Niwot Market. It's where the best athletes in the world go to get their groceries. All right, so ton of league meets this week. This is typically the time of the year where all of those Saturday invitationals turn into Fridays and Thursdays. We have the Pueblo Twilight Friday night, big things coming out of there that we're going to get to. So 2 weeks to state, or actually less than 2 weeks to state. So a lot going on. Before we get moving with that, as mentioned last week, mark your calendars because Spiked Up is going live next Saturday. Saturday, May 10th, we're going to be in-store at Runners Roost Lakewood. May 10th, as previously mentioned, we're locking in a time. It's actually going to be a little earlier than what I mentioned last week. So stay tuned for that. I will update once we get that time locked in. Andrew Simmons and I are going to be talking all the big storylines heading into the 2025 Colorado State Track and Field Championships. Definitely not going to want to miss this. Once again, Spiked Up is going live in-store, Runners Roost Lakewood. You're definitely going to want to be there. We're actually working on some giveaways as well. So, before we get going, so let's get going here, but I don't know. This doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm actually not supposed to be here right now. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hey there, Colorado track and field fans. That's not a screensaver. Welcome to Costa Rica. So I'm actually at the beach working on my tan just about 10 days before the Colorado State Track and Field Championships. But just because I'm here kind of lounging a little bit doesn't mean that there wasn't a lot going on back in Colorado on the track. So let's talk about what happened at the Pueblo Twilight. Always a great meet. Always some of the most competitive distance races in the state during the season. Friday night was like every other year. Starting with the girls 3,200 meter. Kinley Wolf and Tessa Walter, one of the best battles of the season. Kinley's been running great all her entire high school career, but I really feel like Friday night's 10:26 performance in the 32 was definitely one of her best. And also Tessa right behind her in 10:27. What's exciting about this race is the fact these are two of the top 3 times run in Colorado this season, and it's happening 10 days before the state championships. That's perfect timing. Obviously, they're both sharpening up for state championships, which is a theme I'm going to be talking about here for the next about minute and a half or so, because going down in distance, Kamora Cooper from Air Academy, sophomore, big PR, runs 4:52 to win the 1,600 over Emily Cohen from Cherry Creek, 4:53. It's kind of like the girls' 3,200 meter where you had Cherry Creek versus Air Academy, but this time the roles were reversed. But like the 32, both girls are running their best right when it matters the most in the final 2 weeks of the season. On the topic of running the best of the season here, looking at the boys 3,200 meter, for the second time this season, we had 3 boys run 9:05 or faster in the same exact race. And this time it was Cheyenne Mountain's Brogan Collins, who almost became the third runner to break 9 minutes in Colorado in the event. He won this one in 9:02, just ahead of teammate Aiden LaRue, who ran 9:04, and Benjamin Anderson, who ran 9:05. I've been talking about this event all season long. Now we've got up to four or five guys who are really knocking on that sub-9 door. But guys, if you want my 2 cents, you're going to have to kick that door down to make it happen. And we've got, 10 days, about a week and a half until the Colorado State Track and Field Championships. So a lot to be excited about there. Last big performance that really stood out to me this weekend came on the western slope. Effie Fletcher from Coleridge, sophomore, pops a 2:12 in the 800. That is a massive personal best for her. And again, here we go with a theme coming about a week and a half before the state championships, right on time. But what I feel like the most glaring fact about this, or the most glaring thing about what I like about this performance, is the fact that she's been running 2:19 very consistently all season long. To me, the way I read that is someone's bound for a breakthrough. Sure enough, it comes a week and a half before the state track and field championships, runs a 2:12. Right now, she's going to head to Jeffco as the favorite to win the 3A 800 meter state title. If you have not heard of the name Effie Fletcher, write this one down. You're definitely going to want to remember it because she has the potential to be 3A's next big star, or even perhaps across the state. So again, everyone's kind of running fast right in time. Meanwhile, I'm over here at the beach enjoying all of this, but don't worry, I'll work on my tan for a few more days. I'm gonna enjoy the beach a little bit more, and then I'll be back for the 2025 Colorado State Track and Field Championships. Thanks guys, I'm out. All right, I've got my Verde chips from Boulder, my medium sauce from the Niwot Market. Let's test this combo out. Ooh, that's the perfect blend of cilantro and jalapeno. That's legit. You know, I feel like some people get all bloated in their sponsorships, but that's not going to be me. I won't sell out, but I will get another chip. And okay, so deep thought here. It's not double dipping if you're the only one eating the salsa, right? Like that's got to be a thing. I still can't believe they make this salsa in-house, like Ivy League chemists or Taylor Swift stage crew. It's like a Christopher Nolan movie. It's so complex, yet so legit. Just gotta have more. All right, final thought here. It's not selling out if you believe in the product. And I believe in this salsa. It's so worth it. All right, that about wraps up this week's edition of Spiked Up. I appreciate your patience while I am on the beach in Costa Rica, probably getting a little bit too much of a tan, but I promise you I will be back in time for next week's Spiked Up Live at Runners Lakewood. So stay tuned for that again on the time slot there. Also, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up with all things Colorado track and field. Less than 2 weeks of the state meet, so we've got a lot of big things going on in front of us. One more time, shout out to Niwot Market and 303 Running, our sponsors. Thank you so much. As always, I'll see you on the track.
Doing it all for you, my Lewis. I'm just getting started. Doing it all for you, my Lewis. So I show you spark.